Happening now, the DEC has issued a warning about venomous rattlesnakes in the region. And school is almost back in session, and we reached out to let everyone know what to expect. Plus, Andrew has a special message about severe weather preparedness.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us at Western New York News Now. I'm Lee Kane Jr. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, a 60-year-old resident of Jamestown was apprehended by Jamestown police officers on August 30th, 2023 for an outstanding warrant related to controlled substance possession. On August 30th, 2023 at around 8:08 p.m., officers from the Jamestown Police Department detained Danny L. Keith while he was walking on Thayer Street near Faulkner Street. Having knowledge of Keith's active warrant for criminal possession of a controlled substance in the second degree, officers took him into custody. During a routine search upon arrest, officers discovered methamphetamine in his possession, leading to an additional charge of criminal possession of a controlled substance in the seventh degree. Keith remains held at Jamestown City Jail awaiting arraignment. Well, in other news, a 38-year-old resident of Jamestown has been taken into custody for petite larceny following an incident at a Southside business. Jennifer M. Allen, 38, of Jamestown, faces charges of petite larceny after officers from the Jamestown Police Department's 2nd Platoon responded to a larceny complaint on August 31st, 2023. The incident took place at a local Southside business. Allen was apprehended and subsequently transported to the city jail. Due to her failure to appear, she is being held in custody pending her arraignment in Jamestown City Court. Well, in other news, an 18-year-old Jamestown woman is in custody after allegedly attempting to stab another person. On August 31st, 2023, at approximately 6 p.m., officers from the Jamestown Police Department's 2nd Platoon responded to an address on the north side of Jamestown for a fight in progress. Upon arrival, officers located the suspect, Alana R. M. Howard, 18, of Jamestown. After further investigation, it was found that Howard had charged the victim displaying a knife and actively attempting to stab the victim. It was later learned that Howard had also broken property belonging to the victim. Howard was placed into custody without further incident and transported to the Jamestown City Jail pending arraignment. In other news, a Jamestown man was arrested for allegedly choking a woman in the city of Jamestown. DeMarco D. Lathan, 34, of Jamestown, faces charges of criminal obstruction of breathing or blood circulation. On August 31st, 2023, at approximately 6:08 p.m., officers of the 2nd Platoon responded to an address on the east side of the city for a fight. Through investigation, it was determined that DeMarco Lathan did choke a female victim, making it difficult for her to breathe. DeMarco was arrested and transported to the Jamestown City Jail. He is being held pending arraignment. As WNY News Now continues, the DEC is issuing a warning on native rattlesnakes. And later, it's back to school time. Find out what to expect. Stay with us as WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You are loved. You are valued. You are resilient. You got this.
You are there for them. We are here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
As the transition to fall brings enthusiasts out to explore nature and scout hunting sites, the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, the DEC, is issuing a timely reminder about the presence of native timber rattlesnakes. Though these are seldom encountered, they are venomous snakes measuring up to 3 to 4 feet or more, holding the distinction of being the largest venomous serpents in the region. The timber rattlesnake's ability to blend seamlessly into its surroundings, thanks to its cryptic patterns and coloration, makes it a master of concealment. Its coloration varies greatly between individuals, exhibiting distinct light and dark phases determined by the color of the head. Part of the pit viper family, the timber rattlesnake's broad triangular head and temperature-sensitive loreal pits help it detect prey and potential threats. Its characteristic rattle, composed of loosely attached keratin segments, emits a distinctive buzzing sound when vibrated, a natural warning sign. Despite their potentially harmful venom, timber rattlesnakes seldom pose a threat to humans. No human deaths are attributed to wild rattlesnakes have been recorded in New York for several decades. Contrary to misconceptions, they are not aggressive towards humans and will only act defensively when provoked. In case of an encounter, the DEC advises maintaining a safe distance of at least 6 feet and allowing the snake to move away naturally. Killing or capturing them is unnecessary and potentially harmful. As fall activities peak, the DEC underscores the importance of coexisting with these creatures and respecting their ecological role. Awareness and caution are vital in ensuring both human safety and the preservation of these native species. Well, in other news, it's that time of year again for the return of Friday Night Lights. The Jamestown Red Raiders high school football team is set to open their season tonight at Strider Field. The Raiders will begin their 2023 season against Section 3 Baldwinsville out of the Syracuse area. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m. and admission to the game is free. As per a requirement from the school, any students from elementary or middle schools must be accompanied and supervised by an adult. Jamestown is coming off a 2022 season in which they finished with a record of 9-3 and claimed the New York State Section 6 Class A1 title. Their season came to an end after falling to Section 5 champion Hilton in the Far West Regionals. The remainder of Jamestown's schedule can be found on the Jamestown Public Schools website. And it is back to school time, and with that comes the yearly back to school photos. Western New York News Now wants to highlight those first day smiles in a segment we like to call the Back to School Photo Showcase. This segment will take place throughout the upcoming broadcast through the weeks of September 4th through September 11th. Show us your kiddo's first day fits by sending the photos via email to newsdesk@WNYNewsNow.com with Back to School in the subject line to be featured in the segment. Also, teachers and school staff, we want to shine a spotlight on you too. Educators are asked to also share photos which will be featured in the segment. Please include your student's name, age, and grade in submission. And do note that any other doxing information provided, such as the school district or last name, will not be included if submitted, because we value keeping our children safe online. Well, coming up, it's back to school time, and we talk to officials so that parents and students know what to expect. But first, we return with a look at our full weather forecast.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Where is your emergency?
Everyone's on their way. What happened? Please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. While today is the first day of September, it is also the first day of meteorological fall, which runs from September 1st through November 30th. And these are based on annual temperature cycles. And the autumn equinox will come up in just a couple of weeks on September 23rd. And then meteorological winter comes December 1st, and that will run through February. And then we go into meteorological spring, then meteorological summer, and the cycle continues. Looking at the almanac for today, we made it to a high of 68 degrees yesterday in the city of Jamestown. Our low for today was 52, and our records for today, 97, set back in 2012, and the record low of 38, set back in 1976. Tonight is the first high school football game for the Jamestown Red Raiders that takes place at Strider Field at 7 p.m. Beautiful evening for football out there with partly to mostly sunny skies. Temperatures start off around 70 at kickoff at 7 p.m. and they will drop throughout the 60s throughout the rest of the game, and hopefully Jamestown can bring home a victory tonight. Taking a look at the weekend forecast for tomorrow, another beautiful day out there tomorrow, partly to mostly sunny skies. AM patchy fog will give way to those mostly sunny skies in the afternoon. Highs tomorrow will be a little bit warmer than they were today, ranging from the upper 70s to the lower 80s with a southwest wind of 5 to 10 miles per hour. There is a small chance, about a 10 to 15% chance of an isolated shower overnight tomorrow night into Sunday, but most of the region will stay dry with mainly clear skies overnight Saturday. And then Sunday, another beautiful day on Sunday, just in time for the Labor Day Festival, which takes place at Bergman Park. Another beautiful afternoon. Temperatures will range from the upper 70s to the lower 80s, and by the time the fireworks start around 8 p.m. should have mainly clear skies with temperatures in the mid 70s. And now that 7-day outlook powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions, so high pressure is building in, and it's going to kind of stay in place through much of the weekend into the middle of next week as well. Temperatures will continue to gradually warm Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're looking at highs in the mid to upper 80s. Some places might even make it into the lower 90s as this warm weather really takes hold. But eventually we will cool off. We bring in some chances for showers and thunderstorms late next week. Temperatures come down a little bit on Thursday, and we're back down into the upper 70s by Friday of next week.
Andrew, thank you. Well, back to school is right around the corner, so we talked to school officials on what everyone can expect. Our Alyssa Wright has more.
Back to school can be a fun time for a lot of students, but it can also be a scary time for the little ones who have never gone to school before. Rest assured, staff at JPS are here to help. WNY News Now spoke with JPS Assistant Superintendent for Instruction, Tina Sandstrom, and the principal at Bush Elementary School, Kate Benson, who let parents and students know that they're not alone and offer advice for adjusting to a school setting. The very beginning of the school year for students attending Bush Elementary will consist of learning routines and working on relationship building.
So our first half day will be very much a lot of focus on relationship building, coming in, getting settled into the classroom, meeting our classmates, getting to know you, and starting to build that relationship with the classroom teacher and the classroom culture. The beginning of every school year for our elementary students is highly focused on relationship building and building our classroom community. We spend a lot of time at the beginning of the year getting settled in, dealing with any kinks in our schedule, letting students know what's happening next, where they'll eat lunch, at what time, when they'll get to go to their special area classes. So we do a lot of our focus on routines, practicing procedures, and getting to know everybody so that we can feel really comfortable and safe in our learning environment.
Benson offers some advice to parents who have students starting school for the very first time this September.
So for our incoming students that haven't experienced a school setting before, the advice I would give to all families is practicing good bedtime routines and any routine in general. Students really thrive when they know what to expect next. For example, if our bedtime routine is always a bath, a book, brushing our teeth, and going to bed, and it's always the same, even if I have to start it 30 minutes earlier or later, depending on our family's schedule, it creates that level of comfort that I know what's going to happen next.
Of course, we can't forget about our older students.
Well, as we prepare for a new school year, whatever grade your child is in, there are a lot of ways that we can get our children ready to come back to school. So if you're an upper level elementary student, if you're a middle school student or high school student, Mrs. Benson already talked about routines and procedures for our littles. but we still have routines and procedures that we want students to get back into after a long summer of maybe staying up late and not getting to bed in time and not being used to the routines of homework and assignments that might come home with students. So parents talking to their children, setting up those routines and procedures is really important.
Sandstrom gives some examples of helpful routines that will set your scholar on the path to success.
So if you have a middle school or high school student, setting those guidelines for their use of social media or how long they're on their phones and making sure that they're getting to bed at night. And making sure that they have the tools to do their homework or assignments or checking in with them. Especially some of our students at those age are juggling lots of different activities they're in, whether they're music and sports and lots of extracurriculars. So we want to help them prepare for the school year and transition their schedule so that they can get started off on the right foot and really enjoy the whole picture of school, not just the academic learning day, but all the other activities that they're involved in.
In the end, despite what grade your student is in, establishing a strong line of communication is the key, according to staff.
So yes, it's really important to reach out to the teachers, and I think sometimes we think that we do that just with our younger students in elementary, but when our children are in middle school and high school, we still want to make sure that we're communicating with our families and our families are communicating with the schools, because our kids are still learning. It's just at a different level. And so if you have a high school student and they're taking courses at the high school level, as a parent you want to know what those courses are and what they mean towards their credits towards graduation. So knowing what classes they're taking and what track they're on to graduate and staying up on that is really important.
Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
Well, coming up next, Andrew has a special message about severe weather preparedness.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
If you want to speak truth to the masses, make it funny for the classes.
Hi everyone, Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that Smokey's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
But I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Chief Forecaster Andrew Stevenson here to talk about weather safety. While severe weather and natural disasters are becoming more frequent and more extreme as of late, it seems, and because of these events, it is important that the public is prepared for these events when they do happen. The New York Citizens Preparedness Training Program teaches residents how to have the tools and resources they need to prepare for any type of disaster, how to respond accordingly, and to recover as quickly as possible to pre-disaster conditions. In collaboration with New York State, Jamestown Community College, and the Jamestown Police Department will be hosting a training session to provide an introduction on how to respond to these disasters. This class is free to attend and will take place on Friday, September 22nd at Jamestown Community College. The event will be held at the Lene Theater in the Hallquest Library building. Participants will be advised on how to properly prepare for any disaster, including developing a family emergency plan and stocking up on emergency supplies. Each family that attends this event will receive a preparedness kit as well. Those interested in attending can register for free at the link provided on our website in our article. And for more information on the New York Citizens Preparedness Program, the public can visit www.prepare.newyork.gov. Well, that's going to be it for us today. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com, as well as on our mobile apps. You can download them for free on the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. We're also on channel 716 on Roku and at channel716.com.